Is coronavirus a biological weapon? The world all over has been on high alert after the outbreak of the mysterious the coronavirus, which originated in the Chinese city of Wuhan, has now spread to more than 27 countries worldwide with more than 40,000 known cases. The death toll in China now stands at 908, with a further 2 casualties occurring outside the mainland in Hong Kong and the Philippines. The virus, provisionally named 2019 nCoV, is believed to have originated from a meat market in Wuhan, located in China's central Hubei province. What is the coronavirus? The coronavirus's family cause illnesses ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases such as severe acute respiratory syndrome (SARS) and Middle East respiratory syndrome (MERS), according to the WHO. They circulate in animals and some can be transmitted between animals and humans. Several coronaviruses are circulating in animals that have not yet infected humans. The new coronavirus, the 7th known to affect humans, has been named COVID-19. Common signs of infection include fever, coughing and breathing difficulties. In severe cases, it can cause pneumonia, multiple organ failure and death. The incubation period of COVID-19 is thought to be between 1 and 14 days. It is contagious before symptoms appear. Infected patients can be asymptomatic, not displaying any symptoms despite having the virus in their systems. Other medical professionals have speculated the virus may have even spread to humans from bats, snakes or even pangolins. With no clear cause of the outbreak, it has fueled further speculation the virus could have been made by humans. U.S. Republican Senator Tom Cotton, who sits on the Intelligence and Armed Services Committee, suggested the virus may have come from China's biological warfare program. Chinese ambassador to the U.S. Kui Tiankai fired back at the claims and insisted it is crazy to believe China is behind the outbreak. The Chinese diplomat stated it is very dangerous to stir up suspicion, and warned it could lead to racial discrimination and xenophobia. He told U.S. network CBS, "I think it's true that a lot is still unknown and our scientists, Chinese scientists, American scientists, scientists of other countries are doing their best to learn more about the virus, but it's very harmful." Biological warfare has been used for thousands of years. Sometimes known as germ warfare, biological weapons involve the use of toxins or infectious agents that are biological in origin. This can include bacteria, viruses, or fungi. These agents are used to incapacitate or kill humans, animals, or plants as part of a war effort. In effect, biological warfare is using non-human life to disrupt or end human life. Because living organisms can be unpredictable and incredibly resilient, biological weapons are difficult to control, potentially devastating on a global scale, and prohibited globally under numerous treaties. Of course, treaties and international laws are one thing, and humanity's ability to find innovative ways of killing each other is another. The history of biological warfare is a long one, which makes sense. Its deployment can be a lo-fi affair, so there is no need for electrical components, nuclear fusion, or rocket-grade titanium, for instance. An early example takes us back more than 2.5 millennia. Assyrians infected their enemies' wells with a rye ergot fungus, which contains chemicals related to LSD. Consuming the tainted water produced a confused mental state, hallucinations, and, in some cases, death. In the 1300s, Tartar-Mongol warriors besieged the Crimean city of Kaffa. During the siege, many Tartars died at the hands of plague, and their lifeless, infected bodies were hurled over the city walls. Some researchers believe that this tactic may have been responsible for the spread of Black Death plague into Europe. If so, this early use of biological warfare caused the eventual deaths of around 25 million Europeans. This is a prime example of biological warfare's potential scope, unpredictability, and terrifying simplicity. Moving forward to 1763, the British Army attempted to use smallpox as a weapon against Native Americans at the siege of Fort Pitt. In an attempt to spread the disease to the locals, the Brits presented blankets from a smallpox hospital as gifts. Although we now know that this would be a relatively ineffective way to transmit smallpox, the intent was there. During World War II, many of the parties involved looked into biological warfare with great interest. The Allies built facilities capable of mass-producing anthrax spores, brucellosis, and botulism toxins. Thankfully, the war ended before they were used. It was the Japanese who made the most use of biological weapons during World War II, as among other terrifyingly indiscriminate attacks, the Japanese Army Air Force dropped ceramic bombs full of fleas carrying the bubonic plague on Ningbo, China. The following quote comes from a paper on the history of biological warfare. The Japanese army poisoned more than 1,000 water wells in Chinese villages to study cholera and typhus outbreaks. Some of the epidemics they caused persisted for years and continued to kill more than 30,000 people in 1947, long after the Japanese had surrendered. Biological weapons can be difficult to control or predict in a battlefield situation, since there is a substantial risk that troops on both sides will be affected. However, if a terrorist is interested in attacking a distant target as a lone operant, bioterrorism carries much less risk to the person. So was coronavirus a failed attempt at a biological weapon?